Great rising to everyone listening out there. Salutations and greetings to another fine day, and I would like to welcome you back to the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my two co-hosts, Sun Soul Lex and Phoenix. Today, we bring you another segment of African American historical figures, places, and events. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the Slocum Massacre. The Slocum Massacre occurred on July 29, 1910 in Slocum, Texas, which was a thriving African American community where a lot of businesses and farms were owned by black residents. The lynching of a black man in nearby Cherokee County sparked racial tensions in the Slocum area. White rumors circulated that black residents had been meeting in Slocum to plan an armed rebellion which caused racial tensions to intensify. When a white man reportedly sought to collect or disputed debt from a well-respected black farmer named Aim Wilson, and when a white road construction foreman put an African American in charge of soliciting aid for road improvements. A confrontation erupted, enraging Jim Spurger, a local white farmer who became the primary agitator of the conflict that led to the massacre. Many newspapers and eyewitness accounts reported that Spurger instigated the events by claiming that blacks had threatened him. Driven by Spurger and other white vigilantes, an angry mob of heavily armed white men from all over Anderson County roamed throughout Slocum in groups. According to some reports, 200 men laid siege to the city. They fired guns on black residents at will. African Americans fled as word spread from survivors of the carnage. White mobs trailed fleeing blacks into surrounding forests and marshes and shot them in the back. Every initial newspaper portrayed African Americans as armed instigators, which were gross mischaracterizations. Newspapers reported that the estimated death toll of black residents were 8 to 22 victims. In stark contrast, members of the black community reported that there were a minimum of 40 who had died and that it had may reached upwards of 200 victims. Anderson County Sheriff William H. Black stated at the time that it was challenging to obtain the death toll because black bodies had been scattered all over the woods. Many black residents fled the town during and after the massacre, leaving behind real estate property and other assets to save their lives. White residents later seized their property. For instance, Jack Holly, a formerly enslaved man, lost his dairy granary, general store, and 700 acres of land to white residents after he and his family fled the city. Almost all of Slocum residents were subpoenaed to testify, and white men who refused were arrested. Spurger and at least 15 other white men were arrested for the attacks. In addition, Spurger and 6 of the men were indicted on 22 counts of murder. However, they were never tried. The indictments received little attention when Judge Benjamin Howard Gardner moved the trial to Harris County, where the charges were eventually dropped. None of the attackers were ever prosecuted. Today, the city of Slocum reflects the relic of its history. While most nearby towns have black populations of more than 20%, Slocum is just below 7%. Due to the efforts led by Constance Holly Jawad, a descendant of the victims, a historical marker was dedicated to commemorate the event in 2016. If you would like to give us feedback or input on this and other topics, submit your request to KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. That's KingandI369@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you on another one.